Hello and welcome to your pick a card reading. This is for what is your message at this time, even your reminder at this time. This could even have to do a little bit with like purpose, path, focus, this kind of energy. So we've got pile 1, 2, and 3, whichever one or maybe multiple speak to you. Timestamps are below. Hello and welcome, pile 1. Please remember to only take what resonates, leave anything that does not, okay? If something creates negativity, confusion, please reject it, throw it away. Okay, we have 32, Internal Explorer. So this is a lot about your internal emotions, internal world, looking at what's going on in your emotions, in your body, in your state of being, okay? This is from the Beyond Lemuria deck that we're using today. So let's go ahead and see 32. This says, flow state, accessing infinite information by going within, wisdom from the collective consciousness, theta waves, channeling, breaking free from limiting intellect, creative boldness, being guided by the divine spark. You already hold the keys. A lot of power in this as well. And also a lot of you have something to give that's very strong, a gift to give this world, especially at this time. 32 could literally be a significant number for some of you. And this could also be about finding harmony and unity in multiple paths or multiple parts of yourself, okay? So this is talking about when we stop looking outside of ourselves and surrender to a soft inner focus, we have access to unlimited information and resources, okay? This is talking about being in the flow here. Also about allowing things to come without trying to control them. Your images, your intuitions, your sparks, your thoughts, trying to trust more what comes and not be so attached to like the ego kind of part of that, of what will this look like, or what will this mean, or does it logically make sense? It has to first logically make sense. There's a lot of energy of awakening going on here, and I feel a lot of you could get a lot of intuition in your dreams, or even artistic ideas, okay? This is talking about the flow state, feeling like something else is guiding you, like a higher self type energy, and kind of trusting over to that feeling, whatever it is for you, however you relate to it, or whatever it is that you call it, okay? Really about letting go of control here and not needing to think of yourself in a particular like label or a particular title, but just to kind of to just let what flows through you naturally flow through you without having to be something or have a title, or, you know, maybe you're uncomfortable to call yourself a certain title, like a psychic or a reader or a musician, you know, but it's like, just do what you do. You don't have to be any one thing, okay? Yeah, and this is also talking about how infinite we are, that we are part of divine source. This says you are invited to explore the state of flow. This card is also a reminder that you are an infinitely amazing being who can access collective consciousness, especially when you surrender some control to the greater process, to get out of your own way. Yeah, this is about acceptance as well, especially with everything that's going on in your own reality right now, in the world right now. And this says you have the permission you felt you needed. You have it. So go within and explore. Wonderful gifts are waiting for you. This is also about releasing yourself from obligation, you know, to anything else right now that you feel that maybe you need to be focused on outside of yourself, or where you feel like maybe you need to give your attention. This is like not like you do you, you know, allow yourself to flow with what feels good for you right now. This is only going to help yourself. It's only going to help the vibration in the world. It's only going to help to do this. Sometimes we're taught that this is like selfish, or that this is, you know, we have to make sense of things, but you really don't. That's really the message here, okay? So let's get a little bit more about you. Any messages about you that want to come through here? I feel like some of this is also you discovering and expressing your unique beauty, the unique parts of you, embracing them. And I feel like it's going to physically show. You're going to look more beautiful in a way to the outside world and to your own self because of some of this internal glow, this exploration, and this deeper discovering of the uniqueness that is you, essentially. So, anything else to say about this person? All right, please clarify. You definitely don't replicate or need to be like anybody else, okay? That's for sure. And also, I think that if there's a desire here for a new emotional beginning or some kind of a start, this is something that you're going to find inside of yourself, not outside of yourself. That's confirmed here, okay? It's all about inner reflection for you now. It's all about discovering your own self, and also from different perspectives and different angles, okay? There's a feeling of appreciating the self, but also recognizing the self here, not being afraid to look into the mirror, not being afraid to connect with ourselves, and just flowing, letting it be what it will be, wrong or right or judged or not, okay? Very much this feeling here. There is something too, like certain attachments or things that we're holding on to here. And it is only through the exploration and flow internally and through ourselves, and maybe also the creative expression of that internal journey, that it seems we will be able to move forwards and allow something to truly transition. This is also letting you know that you're in a time frame where you are able to awaken, to come alive, rather than in an energy of where it's time to necessarily end, okay? All the life is already in you. No matter what's going on in this world or what's going on elsewhere, it's already in you. It's kind of just about receiving. There's a lot about this mirror, about this reflection, okay? Let's just see one other here. Whoa. Any other messages for this person? Please and thank you, Spirit. Any other guidance about this? Details, messages? Yeah, and this is on its side again. So there's a lot of things that we've been holding on to. There's a lot that wants to transition and change. And in a way, okay, this is interesting. You have Ace of Cups in reverse twice and Death here twice. Okay, so let's wake up and understand why. So Ace of Cups in reverse twice. This is the resistance to an emotional outpour, an emotional beginning, a new start, a release of some kind. Death in reverse also is sort of energy of resistance to release, especially with Wheel of Fortune in reverse. It's like resistance to completion of something, resistance to release of something. However, Death on its side here says that we are actually moving towards that release of whatever this resistance is. We're moving towards that release, towards that beginning's energy. And it's going to come from this flow state, from this moving some of the energy down from our thoughts, our mind, and into our feeling. In going through this self-exploration, especially if you find yourself criticizing people or others a lot, or really like examining the world around you, it's kind of like there's things that are repressed and want to be expressed inside your own self instead of controlled and regulated. So how can they let go more and go into this flow? Okay. Giving and receiving is a bit out of balance. There's a real fear here going on. We're really clinging to what it is that we have, to our comforts, in a fear-based way, and this is really out of balance. And how do they let go of some of this fear and open up more? Please and thank you. Some of this is going to come with trusting the self more, okay? And yeah, getting back out into an active state of being. So creating, maybe socializing for some of you, or trying new things, like actually physically doing and trying. We could have been reclusing too much or resting too much now for this point in time. And it's like we need to get more into exploration, into exposure to things that uplift us, to things that resonate, okay, to things that motivate. Yeah, this also says push yourself to see the future, to like envision the future that makes sense for you, that you want. Like invest that energy in. Like what are some things that you really would love to see in your future? And what are some things that you love that are around you now? Can we recognize this and magnetize ourselves to this, okay? The moon in reverse, all about revelation, about revealing what is hidden inside the self, especially revealing illusion into something that is very real. A lot of this really is perspective, and you could be hyper magnetized to one perspective. I just saw a video on TikTok from a relationship guide, and he was like, you have 5 seconds to look around the room and memorize everything that you see that's red. Go. And then after the 5 seconds is up, he's like, okay, now close your eyes and tell me all the blue things in the room. And of course, you were focused on the red things, so it's probably harder to recall that many blue things that were around you, you know? And it's kind of this about revealing certain illusions, revealing certain things inside the self, just in order to access other perspectives, to magnetize yourself differently as well. I feel like there's a lot about you creating a brighter and better like future for yourself, or something that is more suited to what you would like. And no matter how hopeless things can feel at times or intense, it begins with you. It begins with how you flow. It begins with how you express. It begins with that. 33 and the number 3 is really important and relevant to you in this reading, okay? Some of you are still holding on to concepts in this material world, to this physical essence, but you're ready. It's like you're starting to really look ahead and want more in a way, because you know that there's a void energy to this way of pursuing things that we've been. And we do see Virgo energy here, our earth signs, Capricorn, Libra, Aquarius, Sagittarius, Gemini. We do see Cancer a little bit here, but this can be for any sign, okay? These are just what we see dominantly sticking out, and it can also talk about placements, okay? Like dominant placements at this time. It could even be a traumatized Pisces here, somebody who stopped being in their flow and started feeling like they had to always be in a logical place of being. Yeah. All right. So you guys, I think this is the ultimate message. Is there any last closing message here? Guidance, advice? It's a lot about letting go of things in the past. And letting go of things in the past can mean channeling them into something, releasing them. Maybe you release them into a painting or into a piece of art, or you fuel them into learning something and becoming a teacher. Or you fuel it, you know, you use it as fuel and you put it somewhere, but it allows you to really release these attachments and old ways of being from the past that just haven't been serving you and have been stopping up your flow, your emotional flow. And I really see here with the Ace of Cups, it's very much like about allowing that flow out and through, okay? The death, the transition, allowing yourself to go through the changes that yourself wants to go through, because we're always changing and shifting, and it's time for you to do this in a beautiful and expressive way, okay? So much love, good luck, and well wishes on your internal exploration, and take care. Hello and welcome, Group 2. I hope you're doing well and in high spirits. Please remember to only take what resonates. If something creates negativity, confusion, anything like this, please throw it away, reject it, do not take it on. It's not your message if it creates any form of negativity or resistance or fear-based emotions, okay? So that's super important for you to remember that. So, okay, your message here is a 35, luminescence. So there's another focus on 3. We had that in the last group as well. 35, this can also be about expansion around limitations, around blocks, around things that hold us in. This can also be you going on your own way from another, somebody that you've been around a long time, but in a very heartful way. Okay, we do see a lot of water-based energy here, Pisces energy especially coming through, Scorpio, Cancer, all of our water energies, and air very prominently, but all different energies are here. We also notice that when we take a second look or a deeper look, that we see many different energies around that we may have not recognized before, that are all dispersing in their own paths and own ways, but there's an understanding that everything is connected. And this is really big on the heart frequency as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what the book has to say about this. We'll just brief over a bit. 35, luminescence. Self-love, the light that radiates from our hearts, light shining in the darkness, heart-centered living, removing your heart armor, accepting your shadows as the flip side of your strengths, a vulnerable, wide-open heart, authentic, heartfelt needs. Beautiful. It's all about basically going through life from our hearts, okay? Also illuminating like the illusion in a way and seeing what's real by seeing through our heart space, our heart center, recognizing the strength in doing this, okay? Let's see, what else is really sticking out? This is talking about how we can sometimes cast parts of ourselves away like in the trash because we don't see how they serve us or how valuable they are. They might feel too ugly or painful. And it's just saying that loving yourself is all about accepting yourself, all of yourself, even the parts that you judge harshly, that you consider are less desirable or that you don't like or that makes you uncomfortable. It's really about accepting these parts of you. And this is such a strong act. I mean, when we do this of self-love like this and we start to accept, it translates everywhere. Then we start to match with a vibration of a world that is also accepting of others because it knows how to accept itself. And you really can, I mean, transform your entire reality through this process. And there's some deep communication and subconscious messages that come through here too as well. So this is just saying, we also realize the actions we thought benefited others when we went out of our way to please, fall short, or fall away. This is like talking about how sometimes these things where we don't listen to our own self because we feel like it's not acceptable creates more chaos in a way, okay? Doing things because you want to is really important instead of out of obligation here. Let's see what else sticks out. And remembering your internal world reflects your outer reality. Exactly. Yeah, if you are met by less than ideal dynamics, they may hold a clue to your unloved parts. Exactly. This is a really strong message here, especially when you're dealing like with relationships or the world at large, people. Like, what are these parts of yourself that maybe you are not really valuing, right? Accepting our less desirable aspects doesn't make the behaviors that may arise from them okay. It's not about justification. Accepting your whole self means being okay with the foundations that created these insecurities and bringing them back into balance. Yeah, and also understanding you have them so that you can work with them and be conscious of them, right? It's always a positive thing to become conscious of what is happening, what we're doing, what is around us, what we're feeling, right? To be conscious of our behaviors. Sometimes we don't realize how unconscious we are, even just like how heavy our feet can be when we walk, or how loud we can be when we're out in the still nature, and we just realize how noisy humans can be, or just being conscious of our own words and thoughts, just being more conscious of these things. And the way to be more conscious is to accept them, because of course if we're in a state of denial and we don't want to accept these things, or we think they're ugly, we don't want to see them, right? But they're not, is the thing. So yeah, be real with your shadows. It's so essential. They all make up the one. This says love is the most potent and healing tool that we have. And the more we feel, the more we create. And it's also contagious. Exactly. The more that we live from our hearts, the more we find it in our lives. Exactly that. So this is saying be present and authentic with your heartfelt needs. Have an awareness and a softening towards your unloved parts. It may be easier said than done, but start seeing things from a gentler, more compassionate place, away from judgment. Yes. In the bigger picture, we are all doing the best we can within our circumstances. Exactly. Often the things that keep us out of our hearts are much simpler to release than we realize. And release can just, again, come from seeing very often. And like not seeing with the goal to release, but just seeing. So finding what makes us happy and surrounding ourselves with those who really see us and encourage us also goes a long way. But of course, doing this with yourself first, that self-validation, right? Be aware of the parts of yourself that you find easy to love and set goals for healing themes that require extra care and attention. Also, honor the fantastic vessel your body is. Yes. Look at what you are good at and grow self-appreciation from this place. And you can always talk to your body and communicate with yourself. You can put your hand on your heart and ask your heart for truths and different things like this. She's also talking about how important gratitude is, not comparing yourself to others, because we all have different struggles and strengths. And of course, acts of kindness, recognizing them and doing them are really high vibrational thing in this world to do, to interact with, to hold. So consider the parts of yourself that you may not be accepting. You may be experiencing an inner dissonance due to what you are trying to push away. This card is about self-love. That is the deep, compassionate, unconditional love of self that brings you into wholeness. Luminescence means the essence of light. There is nothing that makes us shine more than a heart that is full of love. You can shine through the shadows most gracefully when there is no fear within. Accept your shadows so they can more easily resolve. Allow more light and love inside and out of your world. So let's put it in a way of, for one, fear is kind of a state of not being present, right? Of course, there's moments in the present where we can experience real and physical fear, but the emotional state of fear, it's most often a worrying about what could be, and we take ourselves out of this present moment. So being present in this moment now, and even just acknowledging in this moment here and now, watching this, that I am safe here and now, I am safe, can be a start. Maybe even to feel I am grateful for being safe here and now. There's so much to be grateful for here and now. And this can kind of kickstart magnetizing our viewpoint to what is present rather than what isn't, and help us tap more into that heart energy, because the heart really appreciates what is present. And also when we fight ourselves and resist parts of ourselves, our heart carries a really heavy burden and heavy baggage. And also for some of you who deal with like struggles with stress, bills, finances, things like this, doing mantras or meditations for financial like gain or money are things to reduce your stress, can take a huge block out of your chest area and your heart, okay? So let's go ahead and get some more information about you here. Let's see what else there is about this person we're reading for. Please and thank you. You know, meditating with your emotions could be a really cool practice. Let's say you're feeling something one day and it's uncomfortable for you, or even comfortable, any emotion, and you just are like, okay, this emotion, it feels like a form of sadness or stress. And then you meditate with that emotion and you really go into it. Or maybe there's a pain on your body and you really go into the pain and what it's telling you. Listening to the messages of your body and emotional states and meditating with them, sitting with them, can do wonders. This stuff, it can feel like, it's like if we've been taught to kind of disregard this in a lot of ways, but this is the root of all like change and balance in the entire world. It does start on an individual level and everything is connected. So this makes a huge difference, okay? Okay, 8 of Cups here. So some of you are walking away from the things that cage you, that inhibit you, and you're recognizing that all along you held the keys to something, that you had this power, and you are empowering yourself through this heart. Some of you are singing or expressing or vocalizing. Some of you are really listening to these things that you have suppressed here, these things that you've held, and you're taking it one by one and you're listening to what they hold, and you're starting to see more and more of the way ahead, of the future, of the vision, of the plan, of the inspiration, of the hope each time you listen to one of these messages. And this is helping to free you. It's helping to release you. So exactly what is advised here in this card is something that you're either already doing or you're going to be doing. This could be intuitively, naturally, or you could just be doing it because you see these kinds of readings and things and it helps you connect the dots. But no matter what, it's happening here, or it's about to, which is awesome. Anything else to say about this person, please and thank you. And this is an emotional freedom, very strongly, which will translate to most areas of your world. Nice. This is you guarded, suspicious, but reading and learning and gathering information. There's also kind of other forces that help you to learn, that kind of connect with you and guide you a bit here. I think who is here is very intuitively guided. And as you go into these emotions and this process, you start to trust yourself more and more and more. So this is super positive. This is kind of an energy of endings to feeling very guarded or not trusting of the self or very suspicious, okay? Here we have higher knowledge coming in. And we also have a questioning of beliefs coming in, of rule, order, religion. I get the word dictator through, of analyzing our realities of what's actually true for us. Some of you could really be reformatting what is true for you through this exploration of your emotions, your heart, and yourself. Okay? This is going to illuminate a lot of core beliefs that you hold, or emotional habits or patterns you hold based on things that were built perhaps from a young age. There's going to be a lot of knowledge coming in, if it's not already for you, that's going to help release you and help you see more through your heart center in a much more uninhibited way. Big changes here. Anything else to say for this person, please and thank you, Spirit. Things could have felt unfair in the past, out of balance, like you got the short end of the stick even. I feel like you're recovering from this kind of energy. And that could be part of what blocked or locked the heart a little bit, or made you deny certain parts of the self or not want to look at them. But I feel like we're starting to see the whole spectrum and the whole picture and accept things in a way that we haven't before. Very positive. This could have really thrown you off your game. It could have made you feel like you'd never be in this Empress energy, the successful, on top of things energy. That you just, maybe some of you felt for a long time that you are, I get doomed to fail. Like this kind of attitude. That's not the case at all. Not at all. It is actually some of these suppressed emotions and feelings that can be creating that a bit. But it's not at all what's happening here. Nice. Some of you are moving into this energy or about to deal with this energy, the King of Cups. This is a very strong emotional maturity, flow, and balance. So this is a very positive process. And if you meet this person, this is somebody that will assist you to do this, and somebody that is both feminine and masculine in a very balanced way. You have the 9 of Wands here twice. That is a wounded warrior energy. That is an energy of I'm suspicious and guarded. I don't trust. I've been hurt. I am not sure about moving ahead in this way because I don't fully trust myself or others, okay? And because you have it twice here, it's obviously strongly in focus in your reading about part of the reason of why you don't want to look at certain parts or don't know how to look at certain parts or have certain repressions in the heart area, something like this, and why the heart now is in focus, because this is something that can be healed and strengthened through listening to the heart center, through connecting with the heart center. There's a lot of valid reasons for why there's certain parts of yourself that you have maybe a challenge to accept. There's valid reasons for everything, but especially to remind you that the things that have happened before, they're connected to a certain vibration. Add to this message of the Nine of Wands, please. Yeah, and there's something about the weight being over, but also there can be a bit of a vibration of not receiving because we don't feel worthy, or we don't feel like we deserve it, or we feel shame, or we feel like many different reasons that we don't want to receive. Afraid to get too close. Afraid of what somebody can do to us or what somebody will see in us. There is a lot of fear here, and it's valid fear. But it's also part of what keeps things kind of hidden. So this is really encouraging you to work on things, to build things up step by step by step, to consistently start taking up practices in your physical world. For example, physical health, physical practices can translate emotionally. Like if you start to exercise and meditate each day, even just a little bit each day, you know, and start to eat a little differently. This is going to translate into a self-loving practice that will encourage the connection that you have with your heart and with your truth, okay? Yeah, in the past here, there could have been an energy that was very unstable or emotionally uncertain. This could have also been quite damaging. It could have been you. And you could have attracted this in turn. It could have been both, okay? So definitely seeing that here. But with the Ten of Pentacles out here, this is saying that you absolutely have a very strong ability here to cultivate a very balanced and successful reality for yourself, no matter what's going on. And it all starts with your journey through your emotions and through those parts of yourself that maybe you suppress or reject, and just getting in touch with this heart frequency, this heart flow, okay? It's all about the heart for you. It's all about the emotions for you. It's about listening to your heart, communicating with your heart, crying your tears, feeling your feels, allowing yourself to feel uncomfortable with certain parts of yourself, but also understanding the importance of seeing them and accepting them, knowing that everything you feel and do is valid. There's a reason for all, but also finding that strength to acknowledge the parts of yourself that, you know, you don't really want to look at, or that you don't really want to see, and still seeing them. That in itself is a form of accepting, just choosing to allow ourselves to actually see and acknowledge that something is there. So, dears, that is what we have for you. You can always email frequencyoftheheart@gmail.com for personal reading inquiries. But until then, we'll see you guys next time. Hello and welcome, Group 3. I hope you are doing well and in high spirits. Please remember to only take what resonates. If something creates negativity, confusion, tension, reject it, throw it away, okay? This is the sound of the universe. It's a 51. So we could be looking at some new beginnings, especially after a time of restriction. We could be looking at a new relationship to the energy of restriction and abundance, okay? There could be a real expansiveness here around the throat chakra, around sound healing, something like this. There could also be connection to Fae and Elven energy for some of you here, as well as, of course, Aquarius, the stars here, wishes, something like this, okay? Let's look at the book. Okay, the sound of the universe. This is life-changing experiences, glimpsing the great mystery, significant timing, pivotal moments, the Shri Yantra, the tuning fork of universal consciousness, music transcending mundane reality. Frequency, music, this kind of stuff can really affect you in a positive way. Now we see a lot of creative energy in this and a lot of cosmic creative energy. So this card signifies those pivotal moments that transcend belief and remind us of a greater reality and influence us so that life will never be the same again. Okay? She's talking about sacred geometry and the wisdom of the Sri Yantra as well, because it symbolizes the sound of the universe. Some of you could be really talented with sound or really receptive to sound, okay? So it's a powerful symbol, the Sri Yantra, described as the tuning fork that connects us to universal consciousness. It's part of those aha moments, those revelations, the fragments in time when life as we know it falls away to reveal a place outside mundane. It brings us a sense of awe and overwhelms, and yet it feels so real that it jolts us back to our core for deeper remembering. It allows us to fathom our limitlessness. This card is also about music as a sacred tool. It symbolizes and speaks of the importance of having a soundtrack for our journey. It bridges the gap between matter and non-matter. It opens portals to an array of feelings and atmosphere. So bring more music into your life to expand your experience and shift your sense of ordinary reality. The meaning here is having your world shaken up even a little can invite a deeper glimpse of the greater mystery of your life. There are myriad ways to peek behind the veil of the mundane world. Ecstatic dance, spiritual exploration, and intuitive creative pursuits are just a few. Aim to naturally imbue this awareness in your everyday existence so you can avoid the sudden wake-up calls. Wake up to the hidden music, harmony, and wonder of your multidimensional world. Yeah, and I want to say prioritize this. Really prioritize your whims and your feelings around these kinds of expressions, this creativity, this dance, this music, this movement, this creation. Like really prioritize this, okay? Actually, this deck first for you guys. Whoa. Okay, messages for this person, please and thank you. This can also be super healing for the world and you, and I actually see a real determination in some of you to do this. Lovers. Yeah, this could actually attract you or put you in the place to match with somebody who is on a very similar frequency as well. It's almost like I feel like a siren song, or like a song of you call out to somebody in a way and pull them in, or you find somebody that you pull in here. Interestingly, we see a change or an ending in a union with you and either an earth sign, an earth energy, or somebody who is more focused on the physical or material. There can be a change in your relationship to them, okay? This could also be a change in what you attract or are attracted to. It can also be a change in the values of your father, or that come from that authoritarian kind of energy, into one more aligned to your creative soul. Explain the Lovers a little more, please and thank you. For some of you, it's really like when you do what you love, you really align with the right vibration for you. And that for a lot of you is going to be something creative with sound or music or expression, dance, something like this. Oh, sorry. I think you've really overthought some things in your past and in your life. Maybe overthought yourself. Overthought what you do, what you are, how you work. And this has trapped you sometimes in your head. Maybe left you in a sleepless state or a state full of worry or anxiety. Maybe even around partnerships or a relationship or love or what you love. It's like music transcends this for you, or creativity, sound transcends this, and it helps get you out of your head, and it's like it helps free you from a lot of this, okay? Why is the Empress in reverse? Please and thank you. I also feel there's something about you that transcends some of the, or goes beyond like some of the physical pursuits and different things, and is very much more in this flowing energy, dreamy kind of state, okay? If you're feeling insecure, or like you're not on top of something here, there can be a need to express sadness, to express harder emotions, but it can also be because something is not clear. It's like there's a part of you that knows something or feels something, but it's hard still. What else do you have to say about this person, Spirit? Please and thank you. What else do you have to say about this person, Spirit? Please and thank you. Again. And why? Your creation awakens a real energy of love in your life. You can even channel and use love into your creations. You can use what has hurt you in the past. You can use your dreams. You can use your experiences and channel them into this creativity, this sound, the music, and even the way that you can feel the music. It can help awaken you. Awaken your sensuality and put a vibration out, because we have a really strong focus on a relationship, on the lover's energy, about your thoughts around this, about the change that you have around this, and about the correlation in music and this, or the correlation of art and creation in this for you. It's beyond even just what it seems. This is you having a team of helpers, whether spirit or in the world, but this is you being carried forwards. This is you being developed and created by simply following your passion, your love, again, the creation, the sound of the universe, the tuning in energy, okay? You're going somewhere whether you feel it or not. You could have been alone a long time or felt isolated for a long time from certain parts of yourself. This could have put you in a state of limitation. Even rejecting this part of yourself could have put you there. There's a real need for rest and reflection and meditation, but imagination within that space, accessing your imagination within this space. Less logic, more imagination. Resting the logic is important here. Resting the thoughts is important here. Acknowledging some of this sadness and this hurt is also super important, because you're going to be able to use this, if you're not already, into the art and music and connect to others this way. Even if you're not doing it publicly, on an energetic level, you will. And even if you're not connecting to others on a mass scale, though you could be, you're going to connect to somebody very significant to you in love. And if you're already connected to somebody in love, this doesn't have to be romantic, but it can also be a reconnection within a dynamic, or you could call somebody entirely new in. But it does feel like you do this when you align with yourself in this sound energy. It's super healing and magnifying for you. It's super connected for you. You also could have been really stressed or worried about like your bills, or your being alone even. Yeah, and there could be some repressed anger here. This can also be a stubbornness or a limitation, not feeling super generous in a way. Wanting to be, I I feel like wanting to be something that you're not sometimes to appease the world in a way. But this is really, really strong about, I feel like it's just so natural and beyond. It transcends like the limitations of the human existence when you tap into this sound and creation energy. Don't deny this. I mean, don't deny yourself of this. Don't deny yourself of these whims and these moments, okay? Because this is massive for you guys. So I think I'm going to leave you there. Just remember how strong this is. You guys can always email frequencyoftheheart@gmail.com for personal reading inquiries. But until then, we'll see y'all next time. Take care.